What is popular YouTube? Another day, another demo, running down the list into 16. We are finally making some real progress. Things are starting to normalize. The thumbnails are starting to become their own thing. They're starting to take on an identity of their own. Okay, it's getting ridiculous. We've already got 18 listed on the HLTV list officially. And without spoiling, with my browser tab spoiling who's coming up next, let's go ahead and look at who HLTV, just quick checks all around, who has been announced. Number 18 yesterday, K Serrato, it has been announced as the number 18th player of the top 20 of 2020. K Serrato, let's go on in a little bit of an investigation here. K Serrato, coming in at number 18. It's a player we've all thought about. We know K Serrato was a player that almost went over to MIBR. Did you guys know that at one point it was in the works? It almost happened. He almost went over to MIBR, but Furia wanted to stick together. They had him locked up tight in a contract, and I think it was for the best. We get to see him, bring another team up to the top level, and certainly his performances have been known. Now, I took personal issue with Liquid being in the top 7, one ahead of Furia in the top 10 players of top 10 teams of 2020. Even if they base it off of some kind of algorithm or kind of statistical ranking throughout the year, it really didn't make sense to me for one primary reason, and that's that in North America for this whole beginning part of the year, if there was one team that should be rated highly, it was Furia. They overcame their rivalry versus EG. They absolutely stomped Liquid. I mean, destroyed Liquid every single time they faced them up until they came over to Europe late into the end of the year. And yeah, Liquid eventually broke the curse, but that does not, you cannot ignore all of the other results from the year with just one result at the end, right? First place finishes at all these different events. IEM New York, America, Pro League North America. So if there's one team where the stats actually mean something, playing in North America with only 3 top teams, free second place finishes, New England Whalers, Rugrats, X Chaos, Triumph, these teams are the only teams to stop you. If there's one result that matters, maybe it's first place when you have to either beat Liquid or EG. That's fair. Furia were that team. Okay, Furia were that team, and K Serrato was a big part of that. What that means for the rest of this listing is a huge question, because we look at these great ratings, overall. He did he didn't do great at the fall series, and we look at maybe, the global challenge. This was a decent event from him, and what else is there? There should be at least one more. The fall final, not great. Not great in Europe. If K Serrato is here at 18, Shiro better be on this list, right? Because I think at this point, it seems clear that, yes, the North American events matter, but they matter far more than I thought they would. And it feels like some of these European events are not mattering quite as much. So if the tier doesn't matter as much, then Shiro should be on this list. And I say that with all due respect. I mean, I think Shiro, I get it. I get it. I understand why Shiro might be on the list. I think he was incredible this year, but he didn't play much. He didn't play many maps versus top level teams. We got 17 maps for a 1.12 rating. First of all, great ratings this year from K Serrato, but even versus top 5 in the small sample size, we've got 1.12. That's very decent, very good. I don't say decent. That's very good. And look at Shiro. I mean, he's got 7 maps versus top level team, so it's not quite as high. But then you look and you want to balance it out. Just go ahead and look at the rest of his year, an unreal year outside of it. Yes, a lot of these events were. Listen, there was a 20 map win streak with 2 wins over Navi in there, and a lot of the CIS dominance. This is Gambit going from Gambit youngsters to Gambit, literally promoting themselves out of Gambit youngsters with the power of Shiro's stats. Shiro, Axel, Naf, all these guys. But look at this, man. I mean, surely he's going to be higher than K Serrato, right? And I don't even have him on the list. I didn't have K Serrato on the list. I respect it if he's here, because What an outstanding year. He didn't play many tier 1 events, but still, so much promise, so many good results, and yeah, some of the bigger events, K-Star don't even have that great of a rating. So I feel like, there's an argument for Shiro here. I don't know what happens to this list, man. But who I've got coming up next, number 16 for my prediction list for HLTV's top 20, is a player we've given a lot of love to on this channel. It's a player who he also plays on the infamous Op Resolution that we know and love. It's a player who I've said in the past maybe doesn't need to opt to get the stats that he does. It's a player who was on a team that did well, at least by ranking, but was mostly a sinking ship if not for this player. It's a player who never had their week finished. That's right. That's right. That player is, in fact, Brokey. Okay, Brokey is for me number 16 for the HLTV top 20. I personally had Yuri and Elige. I think that there are better players than these three this year, but it was maybe hard to prove stats wise. It seems like we've only got NA players coming in for the top, 20 to 15 spots via HLTV. So we'll see what happens. K-Serrato JK has Breeze. And then for my personal list, this is where I'm in Yuri Elige territory, which of course, I rated them as the two strongest North American players. And I didn't put Henny here. I didn't put K-Serrato here. I didn't put Shiro on this list because of these are the guys. These are the basically the highest performers from. So I don't know where Yuri and Elige are going to be on this HLTV top 20. That's going to be very interesting. But for now, this is where I would have naturally assumed Brokey would be. I have some words for Brokey, okay, because I think Brokey is a really strong player, but I think that the more demos we watched during Brokey week, the less I liked what I saw. And I think that what we have seen on the positives is that I think he's a really good player. I think he can op really well. He definitely outperformed all of his teammates on FaZe in big important moments, and he is probably the most outstanding pickup that's ever entered FaZe Clan in terms of what they put in versus what they got out. For context, let me put it this way, okay? They've picked up BMass, who is now starting to get to the point that he's become a very good player on mouse sports, but on FaZe Clan, he clearly got no help. They threw him in all the shit spots, and they said, okay, come on, give us results. That was basically what it was like to join FaZe Clan. You'd come try it on the team, you get all the trash spots, and if you didn't play extremely well, you were screwed. Now look at Brokey. He comes onto the roster, probably gets a similar treatment, but instantly proves himself. Has one of the best clutch ratings statistics coming into the first year that he's in, the first few months that he's in the team, in the whole world. And then he goes on he's opping for the team. Then he becomes like the best player on the team. And this is all in just his first year. And now we're talking about him as a top 20 player. Okay? Nothing but positives from that perspective to talk about with Brokey. And when we talk about his growth, that's a different question. When I looked at Brokey, sorry, I've got my stream stuff on. When I looked at Brokey, my main issue was that it felt like he didn't go out of his way to get opening kills. It felt like he was really good at punishing, and he has a very low death. I bet he has a very low death per round. I'm gonna go look at this right now. Look, he has an extraordinarily that's extraordinarily low. Like that is probably top 3 lowest deaths per round. Okay, 0.6 is like A++, S++, anything around that. I think this might be literally higher than Jame this year. Maybe Jame is like 0.58 or something, but it doesn't get much lower than that. That's pretty much as low as it gets. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, 0.55. Wow. Okay, that's insane. But yeah, that's pretty insane. He had an even better year with that than he did last year, but this is just a ludicrously low. Of course, you can see right here, on average compared to other players, like he is the highest. He's the 1%. But it doesn't feel like he can take over a game with his op. It doesn't feel like he is gonna he's gonna necessarily take a risk where you might need it. It feels like he waits for the round to get started before he becomes a part of it. So in my opinion, it felt like he could help snowball rounds, kind of in a similar vein to like Rops as a rifler. But with Brokey, because he has an op, I take a little bit more of an issue with it. A little bit more, I won't lie. If that's my personal criticism, maybe it fits perfectly in the playstyle if you ask FaZe. I think when we watched like, a few Brokey demos, that's what I got from it. Really good at punishing mistakes, but that's when the mistakes came to him. When it came to going out for the kills, there was a little bit less of that. So the demo we're going to watch today is Brokey playing on Inferno and playing on the CT side to see what his CT side on Inferno looks like. Because surely he's going to be opping. Oh, I could do a quick res change. I've left it on my res. Super fast. Won't even miss a pistol kill. It's going to be completely fine. We're all good. We're about to come back into the game. Okay, yeah. I spared him. I spared the indignity of spectating his death. He didn't get a kill. Three kills and a fourth between Kirby and Rain. And I really want to know what the hell happens to FaZe this next year. Because from what Coldzera tweeted, he said that something like the team is going to get a sports psychologist and something else in the coming year. That's great if FaZe are investing into the roster. It does feel like the inmates are running the asylum in the sense that the players have so much power on the team. I think that was implied with Nico. That seems apparent with the lack of kind of, I guess, involvement from the organization, from people within the organization. It feels like they've got a lot of money right now, FaZe Clan, and they're just giving it to FaZe as a team to pick roster, to pick teammates and stuff like that. But structurally, it doesn't feel like there's a lot in place for this team to succeed. And it feels like Coldzera is one of the most enlightened players, one of the higher minds in the FaZe Clan organization, at least for CSGO, who might be able to make some good decisions. Very impressed by Coldzera as a person. I feel like we've watched him grow in a lot of ways where, he comes through, wins 2 majors, MVP at both, I think. For an absolutely extraordinary rifler, maybe a top 5 rifler of all time by his impact. And we're just going through an eco round here. Brokey picks up 2. But has matured and developed the way he talks about things in interviews, the way that he regards the team, how he's playing spots that are like, he plays kind of like, he doesn't play star player spots, where he normally would on old SK or whatever. And then he came out and said, when he first started playing on FaZe Clan, it felt like we were all a big team when he first came in to play with Nico. And then he said by the end, it felt like we were playing more for Nico than as a team, which is a small slight at Nico, of course. But we don't know how much baggage is involved with that statement. But lately, I've really appreciated Coldzera's honesty. I've really appreciated Coldzera's opinions, and I feel like I really appreciate him in the server as where he plays. He was mostly playing with the new players. So he was playing with BMAS. He was playing with Brokey. He's playing with the players to help them develop, right? Whereas it felt like they weren't getting much support from the rest of the team without him. So anyways, why are we talking about Coldzera? Well, I want to know what would happen next year with FaZe. I think maybe he's a key piece to the puzzle if he stays, along with Brokey, who's been a consistent performer. And then they can go from there. Finding an IGL and their 5th. Kerrigan and Twist, that would completely change. That would be, that would be absolutely absurd, right? Kerrigan and Twist, I feel like Kerrigan would work really well with Brokey. I think FaZe could use a player like Kerrigan where they don't have many players that play fast. Okay, hold on. Action might come this way. It looks like they're throwing a small fake over towards the A site. And now we're going to get Brokey's rotation. Just an M4 on this round. Really, really looking forward to seeing the opping situation. So he's creating a point of contact here in construction. He takes a lot of damage for it, but he finds like that might be his best opportunity to get back into the round. And now it's just, try to escape if possible. Smoke comes up. That's his only way of getting out. And, oh, they don't spot him. So he'll save the gun at least. But yeah, 3v5, he's taking a big risk there. No reason to upgrade. His teammates are probably saving. as we can see. Yeah. So my next year might start a little bit sooner this time around, where this is supposed to be a really big break, but now because of COVID cases, we might be traveling a little bit earlier. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It has been nice to be at home. It'll be nice also to get back to work. But yeah. It'll be a less long stint than the last time. I think just a month this time around. Following the Blast Global Finals. That's going to be an insane prize pot with great teams. Furia, Liquid, EG are all there as well, which will be fun to watch. And it's $600,000 for first place. Very top level, top heavy, and top level. Astralis. Are FaZe going to be there? I'll take a look at the team list afterwards. Astralis, Vitality are there. We know that. I think Mouse Sports maybe not there. We'll see. But okay, no impact round here for anybody on the team, really. They lose. Brokey can't become a part of it. Okay, so now he picks up the op. Let's see how this goes. Because I was looking at a couple of demos, okay? I was looking a lot on the T side of Overpass and the T side of Mirage. And that's where mostly I saw that there was, you know, potentially more gaps that Brokey could have exploited if he took a bit more, took at least slightly more risks. And it's like, saving the gun is great. You know, getting a kill and not dying is great. Definitely, it results in impact. It means you can't take over the game, so I'm a bit hesitant about using a term like star player when it comes to it. But I guess you can be kind of a star player that doesn't take up too much space at the same time, or like go for kinds of risks. But I think it needs to lean towards some kind of balance. So this re-aggression is great here from Brokey. Let's see, he's not scared of the half-wall spot. They have to clear out car with this rifle, and now that they've done that and got the corner, he's going to leave and start to overstack towards A. The arch position is probably, besides like your B players, your arch position is probably the most important player on the map, just because of the information you constantly have to give up and get back and give over to your team. You really are the glue connecting A and B and preventing mid to B splits. You have to decide when to push on brackets, and we see how much movement. If we looked at a heat map of Brokey, you know, how much information he's gathering and exchanging at all points in the round. He's making tons of trips here, Ubering back and forth from the speedway, supporting flashes here. And yeah, the flash is good. And he has his op in a situation where, you know, he doesn't want to constantly be in a rotator position. A great shot from Brokey, and it'll be the final kill of the round. Unless whoever's left has a death wish, but it doesn't look like that's the case. That was nice. A good supporting flash, a good second shot, and a round one and done. So let's see how Brokey moves around on the CT side as well. You know, another rifle. Exchange of grenades. Brain, he was kind of in front of the Molotov, so he's actually good. I don't know where how deep the smoke is here, but he'll get a kill through it. So yeah, it's all the way down. Nice car grenade coming up from OG, and Alexi B just comes flying through the smoke. You hate to see that if you're Brokey. He was just getting postured up to watch the smoke. What is that timing? I think he hears Rain maybe reload and fall back and decides to fly through it. Should have been a kill he gets punished for, but doesn't. Let's skip forward. And looks like it might just be an eco mowdown. Hopefully a clean, easy round here for Fate. They're coming back today, aren't they? No. They try to re-aggress. Okay. 13 to 9. Now, these kinds of picks are a little bit fewer and further between for Brokey when it comes to what kind of aggression he goes for. Again, it does fit into the ethos of FaZe Clan in a negative way, though. Like, I feel like the way that they've been trained to play the game via under Nico's system is such a way that doesn't really make sense to me. Like, it's one that's too passive a lot of the times. It's a little bit option light. It is one that they just get punished for often. And I think it's based around the idea that they have such strong individual players, let's not die early. but it's just in the meta, in the current meta, it just doesn't work. I think in like 2014, and that's not like a joke, like back in the day when mats were very CT sided, a team like FaZe would have succeeded heavily. Late, like last second T side executes and really, passive CT setups where you just don't die for as long as possible. I think these would have been two things that worked really well at the time. But in today's meta, it feels like FaZe have fallen out a little bit because they're playing in that kind of style. Look at these great shots from Brokey. Holy hell. And I mean, whoa, that was insane. Wow, that was really crazy. That was such a beautiful. Was that a 5-shot ace? I mean, if we get an ace, we should get the run back, right? I think we should watch that one more time, probably. That's only fair. I think we're gonna get the run back soon. Surely, soon. Awesome. We're gonna take a look at this again. Okay. So he does it off of the passive setup. Of course, it's only versus pistol, but I mean, they all die in one shot anyway. So the op shot and a fall back. And wait a second, are we into a new round? Hopefully not. No. Okay. I think he This guy just blinded himself. Okay. I don't know. I don't remember if this is the same round or not. The rotations are here on the A site. And no, it is a different round. What the hell? Okay. I'm going back. I'm determined. I mean, I know you can just go on the YouTube video and like easily skip back 5-10 seconds. Why do I do this to myself? Come on, you can't remember what happened? One round to go? Surely 13-9. I was just there. You can't go back. Is your memory really that bad? 13-9. Okay. Here we go. I think it was worth it. Oh yeah, it's gonna be worth. It's totally worth it. Popcorns. I'm gonna go coffee. He's off. Oh yeah. Watches his flank. Ask for the flash. Keep peeking him. What a shot. Just nasty. Did it miss? I already forgot. I think that was 5-shot ace. And that's what we're talking about. Like, Brokey punish. That was like the perfect Brokey round. Oh shoot. Okay, that was unlucky. Brokey punishes it really well. He can. The whole team might be a bit passive, and maybe that's why it's drilled into his head to like not take too many risks because of like how he was raised on FaZe as his first real big team. I want to see that change a little bit in the future. But for now, what it means is that rounds like that, like he is very reliable. Very, very reliable. Even though the whole team maybe made an information error. That being said, it was an ecoing round, but that's a kind of round you can see from FaZe like all the time. But I already think the system started to change a little bit, and it'll change even more if Kerrigan comes on. It'll be completely different if Kerrigan comes on, in fact. If we look at what Mousesports looks like at the moment, I mean, Mousesports with Kerrigan, if Kerrigan joined FaZe, which Kerrigan leaving ROPS would be heartbreaking. I don't know what they would do for an IGL, and I feel like I would be, oh god, I don't want to see ROPS become wasted talent. And, you know, that Kerrigan just adds so much value for these new players as well. Mousesports is really the perfect organization for Kerrigan because they take risks on new players because then they want to make money. So I think they go to try to sell and resell players once they raise their stock. And Kerrigan's like the perfect player to help you increase the stock of your players if they're new. So yeah. Whoa. What a kill. Mantu probably saw nothing there. That was sick. All right. You can see they're posturing up for the mid hit. They're going to come through it. Let's see how Brokey responds to this. He's already off in a CT spawn. They're coming across. Alexi cannot even get off his feet. And he's got a teammate here. Look, Brokey rotates because he sees Blue coming in from behind. And now he can come and try to clear out Cubby for Blue. Come through onto the site. He's throwing a flash that pops behind him. And he'll push and try to get into position. He'll miss his mini pit kill. But he gets info on 2. 3 alive. And Issa, he looks to literally ace from mini pit. Holy smokes. How crazy he's been. One person left. Olaf for the 1v2. Come on, for old time's sake, Olaf. Let's make this one happen. I will remember to link the demo. So I'll remember to link the demo because I didn't talk about the actual match. All right. Big pit. Molo. He could win. Yeah, he could win. He could win. Oh, he could definitely. Oh, okay, he won't. Whoa, Issa, the ace. Asa. Can't wait till we get Issa back on land. Can't wait till we get back on land. Let me abridge that. See how FaZe are playing right now? Should you be any more turtled? Rotations are going to be a huge problem. But, okay. Alexi gets 2 in the pit. This should be the round over. Unless Brokey can save him. What a shot. First kill on Valda. Alexi is still out. Rotations are coming in. They're late, but OG have not made progress forward onto the site. They'll throw Molly to him into the back, and he'll look for this mini pit kill. Misses the flick. But has he delayed long enough? Now, Rain will come around the corner. Alexi has to get out of the pit. Rain can try to go for the punish. They don't know if he's crossed on the site just yet. And his teammate is just joining up with him. It looks like Alexi might be sitting there waiting. So Rain is just going to try not to, to push its position too far. And that should be the whole game over. 7 seconds off the bomb as it's sitting inside of the fire. And the round is over. That is that. Now we see Brokey had a huge impact in that game. And yeah, it was a perfect game to explain what kind of player and what kind of position Brokey plays on the team. I think he plays in a system that encourages him to be passive and does a lot within that system, which is an inherently, in my opinion, flawed system. And I think that once they fix their system, FaZe become a bit more versatile and they stay a bit more fluid, mostly on all maps. Like, I think there's just a couple of maps where they're specifically a bit more crippled. And on other maps, they do a good job of staying fluid. Then they'll be an even stronger team because they should be, because they have amazing players. And sometimes we point to the stats of the players to tell the story of why a team is doing badly. But if you have a good IGL and a good system, everyone's stats will be good. People who are saying Coldzera's washed up or like Nico's carrying and like Rain is washed up and all that stuff, it's not true. They have enough. They can play well. These are champions. They literally can. They were 1 round away from winning a major. They've had insane stats on all their rosters. They're all star players. They can play well. They just didn't have a good system. They didn't have a good IGL. Okay, don't forget that. That all can change. We don't have to talk about Coldzera in the second half of his career or Rain falling off permanently or anything like that. And we know what they can do. They just need to be activated. Just an absolute shame what's happened to FaZe in the last couple of years, but there's still hope, I think. Okay. But it's waning, you know, something has to change fast. What was that event, or what was that match? So that match was, I don't think it was the spring series. I think it was Beijing, actually. Might have been Beijing. Right here. Great stats at Beijing, by the way. One map where he fell off a little bit. Every other map they tried, and then they just got him. It was unfortunate. They lost 2 matches. Oh, no, they won that. That was really close. Yeah, it's all because of Brokey, basically, as far as they got at Beijing. Here it is. Okay, hope you enjoyed that one. I'll see you back here for another Coach Lau tomorrow for number 15 on the HLTV Top 20 Players of 2020. Peace out.